Hello, children. How are you all? Welcome back. Today, we're going to start our next chapter, chapter number 21, titled Disaster Management. Actually, it is an activity lesson, children. So, you have to listen to all the videos carefully. Actually, this is part 1. So, we have a few more videos. So, after listening all the videos and referring your content book, you have to read each and every line carefully in your content book. So, after completing the reading, you have to make a scrapbook using the chart and the paper cuttings from the newspapers and the articles. Before entering into the today's topic, children, I would like to remind you about our online class norms. Once again, I remind you, keep your note ready. Mostly use your homework note as a note and mention the date of the particular class. Don't forget, students, once school reopened, your note will be validated, so keep it safe. Your handwriting should be neat and legible. Leave little finger space between two words. Draw the end margins properly. Use pencil to draw the end margins. Your handwriting should be very neat. So after end of the each video, you have to read the contents carefully and underline the important words in pencil. So in this video, we're going to discuss about the concept of disaster, then types of disasters, the do's and don'ts before or during the disaster, the importance of preparedness, and be familiar with the steps of disaster management. At the end of the lesson, you're going to make the scrapbook, children. Not end of this video, after end of the whole topic. Let's start, children. So, sit tight, children. We're going to see about very important topic which will be useful in your daily life. Let's start. What is disaster? The events which are unexpected and can cause huge loss of lives and property are called disaster. So basically disaster which creates loss of property and lives. Even the corona is a pandemic disaster, students, which we are facing now. Pandemic means widespread. So it causes potential threat to life, environment, property, etc. Basically, disaster causes potential threat, which means serious threat, children, to the life of the people, environment. Environment means living conditions, property, etc. Property means the things which owned by the people. Disasters are broadly classified into two categories. What are they? They are natural disaster and human-made disaster. So, how many categories we have, children? Two categories. What are they? Natural disaster and human-made disaster. So, what are natural disasters? Natural disasters are volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, floods, cyclones, droughts, tsunamis. What does mean by droughts, children? Droughts means when during the scarcity of rainfall, the agriculture will be affected, right? So the fertility of the soil also will be affected. That is called droughts. Is it clear, children? So based on the origin means source. Based on the source, natural disasters are classified into three categories. What are they? Meteorological disaster, topographical disaster, tectonic disaster. So what are they, children? Once again repeat that. Meteorological disaster, topographical disaster, tectonic disaster. Okay. So meteorological, what is meant by meteorological? So the condition of the atmosphere. The condition of the atmosphere. So what are the disasters comes under meteorological? Hurricanes, cyclones, droughts and floods. What are they? Hurricanes, cyclones, droughts and floods. So what is maybe topographical disasters? Topographical means the hilltops are the high regions, landslides and avalanches. Landslides means the slides or the soil erosions in the mountainous regions. Avalanches, the same, children. So the avalanches are the same. The same means the falling of larger earth particles. So what is meant by tectonic disaster, children? So tectonic means the large pieces of earth surface or lithosphere. So it is called tectonic. So the tectonic disasters are earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. Once again, I repeat, on the basis of their origin, the disasters may be classified into three categories. What are they? Meteorological disaster, topographical disaster, and tectonic disaster. Shall we move to the next one, children? So, what are the factors responsible for the disasters? Usually, major factor for the disaster is human intervention, children. What is meant by intervention? Our negligence, our relationship between the nature. We are the main source. Why? Because we affecting the environment. How we are affecting the environment? By the deforestation. For one of the example is deforestation. If we cut down the trees, what will happen, children? There will be changes in the atmosphere. So what will happen? It leads to the global warming. So global warming leads to the landslides, floods. So ultimately it causes some of the changes in the tectonic plates also. It causes the tsunamis. So every disasters are interlinked by the humans are the sole responsible for the global warming. Basically, during these disasters, economically weaker section people are affected more. Children who are economically weaker section children, economically affected people are the persons who are getting very low income. Is it clear, children? So these are the factors responsible for the disaster. So the next one, disaster management. What is the next one? Disaster management. So how, sir, we can manage the disaster? Yes, we can manage the disaster by following the simple these steps. What are they? First one, preparedness. How we are prepared for a disaster. Then response. How we respond to the disaster. The next one, rehabilitation and recovery. So the rehabilitation and the recovery means how we recovered from the disaster. The last one, prevention and mitigation. Prevention and mitigation. What is the last one, children? Prevention and mitigation. Once again, I'll explain about the disaster management cycle, children. First one, preparedness. Preparedness means how we prepare to face a disaster. Is it clear, children? The next one, response. So how we responded to the disaster. So for example, for the preparedness, if we know there will be a flood, what we will do, children? Immediately we will evacuate the area, as well as how we will respond. So we will make the people ready in a particular area, and we'll evacuate the flood affecting area, and will make the crops safe, and will make the foods ready for the people. What about the rehabilitation and recovery? So the rehabilitation and the recovery means after the flood, what we will do, children? So how government will take steps to develop the people who are affected. So what is meant by mitigation? Mitigation means how to reduce the damage going to happen because of the disaster. So these are the things which we have to keep in mind to manage a disaster. I hope you all understand the today's topic, children. So that's the end of the part 1. Thank you.